The following podcast contains strong language and frank discussions of violence. Listener discretion is advised.
Good evening, actually. And what do I see? My best friend in the whole world, Michael.
Oh, I see you. You're over there. Actually, I'll probably put you somewhere else, but we are here.
You're like, oh, you're over here, but actually,
yeah, you are wherever my finger ends up pointing.
Well, Michael, you're looking good, buddy.
Well, I do what I can. I did my hair for the occasion today.
Oh my God, same.
Yeah.
But it is like you'll see it like just kind of like floating around. I look like a wacky, but it's fine. It's fine. How was your week, Mike?
Very busy, very anxiety filled, knowing this was coming.
A lot of projects.
A lot of projects, but none more important than this one.
Oh, that's why I love you so much, Michael.
We do this for our listeners, and now
we do it for the people,
our viewers.
Mike. We do it for our Murder Amongst Friends family.
Yeah. So hello to, what do we have? 48 of the states?
No, I think we have like 43, I think.
43?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hello to
There's
the
certain ones we don't have. We don't know why. Well, we probably know why. We probably could figure it out if we gave you the list of states we don't have. But hello to all of our listeners all over the world. I'm looking at you, Ireland, you son of a bitch.
And now Ireland's looking at you.
Yeah. Oh my God, a girl can dream.
To, I think, make it a little bit easier on me, I think we'll jump right into the story.
Let's do it.
Do it. All right. This week, I was inspired. I recently rewatched the classic 1980s horror movie, The Stepfather, starring Terry O'Quinn.
Shit.
And
I love Terry O'Quinn.
Yes. And he's really good in that movie. It's one of his first film roles. Yeah. He was doing a lot of stage work prior to that, but this is one of the things that kind of.
You have the hair. Because he had that like flip of hair for a while.
He does have hair in the movie. Weird. He had a shaggy beard at the beginning. Yeah. But that movie was partially inspired by this story that I'm about to tell you. This
I'm excited.
Is the story of John List. Not John Locke. John List.
John Locke. John Locke before he was dead or after he was dead, because I'm here for like both of them, It's in my top 5 characters.
Don Corleone referencing John Locke with the orange in the mouth.
Yeah.
John List was born on September 17th, 1925 in Bay City, Michigan. He was an only child and brought up by devoutly Lutheran parents. His father was a very serious Sunday school teacher.
Okay.
List graduated high school in 1943 and enlisted in the Army and served as a lab tech during World War II, like everybody did in 1943.
Mm-hmm.
His father died in 1944 while John was overseas, and as you'll hear in this story, and I think you'll agree, that the relationship with his father had a fairly direct influence on what eventually would take place on November 9th, 1971.
Yeah, I was going to say, if his dad is like a gung-ho military dude.
Well, he had been dead.
I don't think he was putting up with a lot of shit while he was growing up, though. You know what I mean?
No, definitely not.
Mm-mm.
He was still influencing John and what John was doing 27 years later.
Yikes.
While having been dead. Before we get there, though, a little more background. John was discharged in 1946 and used the GI Bill to enroll at the University of Michigan to earn a degree in business administration and a master's in accounting. Dreams. Back when you could actually get things from the government, but that's okay. We don't have to get there.
Yeah, let's get down off of our soapbox today, Michael. There's so many, because you know what? Roe v. Wade. Birth control, contraceptive. Oh, by the way,
prayer in schools.
Rite Aid and CVS are now limiting the amount of contraceptives day after contraceptives that you can get to 3 because people are just stocking up on those fucking shits like squirrels in the winter. Which I don't think, I would imagine Rhode Island, Mass isn't going to go down that road.
But you got to beware of the COVID hoarders.
But also I wonder if people are buying them here so they can send them to like other people in the mail or something. So because who knows if they're going to just say no more contraceptives. Like
there's a couple states where they're trying to make that illegal to even import it. But again, I think
men just get vasectomies. It's like an in and out procedure. It's very simple. Just do that. So if we do that, then we got to do this. Then we got to do, whatever tax. Then we got to do all these rich people getting rid. And we'll just never get off.
I'm just gonna look at you until you realize what you just said.
I was gonna let it go, and because I was trying to elevate myself, Michael. I'm trying to grow.
Okay.
And you just brought it right. But no, yes, I was aware of what I said. Thank you for pointing that out. Okay.
John stayed connected to the military as a commissioned second lieutenant with the ROTC. At the end of 1950, John was reactivated to service as the Korean War was escalating. Okay. He was sent to Fort Eustis in Virginia, where he met Helen Taylor. Helen was a widow of Eustis.
Every time I hear Eustace, I just think of Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Very specific reference.
Yeah.
Helen was a widow of a man recently killed in action in Korea. Helen lived near the base with a daughter named Brenda, and on December 1st, 1951, Helen and John traveled to Baltimore, Maryland, and got married. The Army reassigned John to the Finance Corps soon thereafter, and he served out his second tour of duty until 1952. After getting out,
following in his dad's footsteps.
He doesn't become a pastor or a Sunday school teacher, but he certainly adheres to the tenets that his father instilled in him, probably beat into him.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah. After getting out of the Army, Liss went to work for an accounting firm in Detroit and then as an audit supervisor at a paper company in Kalamazoo. Helen and John had 3 kids together: Patricia, John, and Frederick. Helen's daughter Brenda also lived with the family until 1960 when she got married and moved out. Between the time of
that's a lot of people in
it's quite the passel.
Tiny little place.
Yeah. But John was doing okay for himself between his Army pension and
fucking good for him, I guess. Great. Good for you.
You'll see just how good he does in a little bit of time. Between the time of John getting a job at the paper company and Brenda moving out, Helen had started to become more and more unstable. You see, Helen was an alcoholic.
Oh, okay.
This obviously put a strain on the relationship with the devoutly religious John.
Well, yes. It's okay. Yeah. I guess so. Well, they're Lutheran, you said?
Yes.
I wonder if they're if they have rules against just drinking in general. I don't know.
I don't know how strict Lutherans get.
I don't know. Because Mormons, you can't drink or anything like that. Muslim, you're not supposed to, right? Catholics, forget it. They're all drunks. Come on. Come on. We all know. I don't know. Lutheran.
Despite the instability at home, John kept getting promoted and getting better and better jobs. In 1965, John accepted a job as vice president and comptroller. I never learned what a comptroller is, and I refused to look it up. So he was one of those for a bank in Jersey City, New Jersey. So he moved the family
to Jersey.
He moved them from Michigan to Westfield, New Jersey, into a house with a name, Breeze Knoll.
No.
If a house has a name.
Can we stop naming houses, please? It's never good. Nothing good ever happens at a house that's named.
Correct.
This apartment is not like Casa Joey. No, there's there's nothing. Because it's either fucking haunted, an entire family was slaughtered there. Oh, I don't know. It's built over an ancient Native American burial ground. Like there's some bullshit going. There's something in a body in the basement. No. Let's all stop doing that.
Breeze Knoll was a 19-room Victorian mansion that even had its own ballroom.
No.
Don't.
No.
Do
not. No ball. First of all, it's not a ballroom. No, a ballroom. That place is fucking people are gonna get murdered. Forget it.
Well,
I'm not coming.
I'm telling you this story. I'm telling you this story for a reason. So
I mean, yeah, but if you had a house like that and you were like, allow me to, when you come over, I'll show you the ballroom. I'd be like, I'm never coming over. This friendship is going to end today.
Things seemed to be going all right for John, but they very much weren't. By 1971, John was laid off by the bank when his branch closed. He was so embarrassed by this that he didn't tell his family.
I mean, that's not something to be embarrassed about, but I guess, yeah, all right.
Yeah, he wasn't fired because of incompetence.
He wasn't like fired for stealing or something.
Yeah. But he was so embarrassed that instead of telling his family every day, John would get up, get dressed, and leave the house right on schedule.
Who are these people that do this shit? Who are these people there's a lot of people that do shit like that.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
He spent his days. I'll tell you what he did.
Oh, God. Okay.
He spent his days going on job interviews.
You say taxiing around Pawtucket.
No, definitely
come
not.
out of here.
John spent his days going on job interviews, and when he didn't have one, spent the entire day at the Westfield train station reading the paper until it was time to go home.
How many pages?
It's
not the Sunday paper. You don't have 45 sections to get through.
He was probably reading some out-of-towners, I would imagine.
You just got he went and collected all the papers.
Yeah. He read all the papers and compared to
Dude, just tell your family and like go to your job interviews and then spend the rest of the day at home. Get in the fucking yard. There's probably weeding or gardens. Mow the lawn. I don't know. Organize the shed. You have 19 rooms. There's always something to do.
Yeah, well, there's one particular thing that he wants to take care of. All the while, Helen's alcoholism was ramping up, and another big revelation would come to light.
Oh, God.
Turns out, Helen was also dealing with untreated tertiary syphilis. Now, I looked it up. Yeah. Tertiary syphilis isn't infectious, so she didn't give it to John.
She didn't pass it to him.
But it does have several different presentations. One kind could cause benign but prominent soft tumor-like balls of inflammation to form on the skin, bone, and organs. Another you'd have like
just like lumps places. Yeah. Okay. Does that happen with regular syphilis? First-tiary syphilis.
Primary, secondary, and tertiary.
Yeah. No, I know. Trying to be funny, Mike. Didn't work, obviously.
I'm just too self-serious. I can't.
I know. You're like Mr. Serious.
Yeah. I looked up medical terms here for this, so I take it very seriously.
I trust me, I know.
Another kind could cause heart issues.
So now I've got lumps everywhere.
Yeah.
Well,
a different kind of tertiary syphilis could cause heart issues, including aortic aneurysms.
Ooh, okay.
Basically, you don't want it.
Yeah, that's bad.
No one wants syphilis, but this one is also, it's not great. Just because it's like the third kind, it's not.
So she found this out because she was having heart issues, or she started getting lumps?
Well, Helen acquired the infection
Not funny.
from her first husband, who seemed to not be far from her thoughts.
Oh.
As she drank more and more, and the
Yeah.
syphilis symptoms really started to appear,
She
she
started
became
calling
belligerent.
John her ex-husband's name.
Nope. She started to become belligerent. She would humiliate John in public by repeatedly excoriating John over his sexual prowess, especially compared to her first husband.
No. Oh, bitch. So she's there out to dinner.
Yep.
Or whatever.
Wherever.
In Jersey.
Yep.
You know, they're at Meatball. They go out to dinner at Meatball Mike's. Right.
Yep.
And they're like, what do you want on your grinder? What do you want on your grinder?
A competent lover.
What do you want on your grinder? Yeah. And she's like, for this guy to make me, you know,
like my ex-husband used to.
Because my ex-husband, let me tell you, slam dunk every time. This guy, what a piece of shit.
Why couldn't he be the one to die in Korea?
He can't even get himself off. Never mind me. Oh my God. Okay. Well, he's not going to be happy about that. Men don't like when you excoriate their manhood. So, but I mean, if it's true, but you don't have to tell the deli broad. Like,
right.
Yeah.
Something to keep between yourselves.
Oh, and a couple of few close friends, but I mean, maybe not the deli lady, you know?
The disease and the drink also, quote, transformed her from an attractive young woman to an unkempt, paranoid recluse, unquote.
Yeah. She really fucking went downhill.
She sure did.
As you would.
Yeah.
She's ravaged with syphilis, and she's an alcoholic who's not getting boned properly. Forget it. She has no chance.
Not a lot going for her. Mm-hmm. While this was going on, John was trying to keep the family afloat financially. He was taking money from his mother's bank accounts to pay his mortgage.
No.
And he encouraged his now teenage children to get part-time jobs.
Okay.
He claimed it was to teach them responsibility and instill a work ethic, but it was really so he could take the money to keep the family going.
Little of both.
Yeah. Column A, column B.
They Venn diagram over each other.
Yeah. This brings us back to November 9th, 1971. John had reached the end of his rope and he was out of ideas. In his mind, he had only one option. So
he can't become a gigolo. Ain't nobody paying for that shit.
After his kids left for school that morning, John took his pistol and a revolver that he had that had previously belonged to his
I didn't think you were going to say that. Okay.
No, so he took his pistol and his dad's old revolver and set his plan in motion.
Okay.
He shot Helen in the back of the head as she drank her morning cup of coffee in the kitchen.
Yep. I wasn't ready to just
we're in it now.
We're in it now. We're in it to win it.
Walked up to her in the kitchen, shot her right in the head.
Boom,
she was 46.
Boom. Yep. Once, twice, 3 times
once
a lady.
Once in the back of the head, and she was no lady.
Yeah.
He then went upstairs to the 3rd floor and shot his mother, who was 81.
Oh.
Yeah.
What the fuck did she ever do except for giving him? Well, they're taking care of her. She's probably drained on the finances.
But it was her money.
Go, lady. Yeah, what the frig? Like,
he shot her above the left eye as she lay in her bed.
Oh my God, though. That's your mom, though. Yeah. Shit. Okay.
He waited around the house.
Well, damn. Oh no.
Until his oldest daughter, Patricia, who was 16 at the time, returned home from school.
Come on, she's going to school and working.
Yeah.
And you're gonna fucking shoot her?
He shot her, and then a short time later, his 13-year-old son, Frederick, got home and met the same fate.
Come on.
He was just
revolving
door.
How about this? Shoot yourself.
You're gonna hate
You
this
son
next
of a
part.
bitch.
You're gonna hate this. He made
Shoot
himself lunch.
yourself. You're the one that's unhappy. You're the one that's bad at sex. You're the one that lost your job and can't be a man enough to say, I lost my job because the branch closed.
Well,
okay? Shoot yourself.
But if
Don't
he shoots
shoot
himself,
your elderly mom and your wife and every kid.
He can't read the paper if he's dead. So,
What coward.
Okay. Ready for the next part?
Not really.
He has just killed his wife, mother, oldest and youngest child. Then he makes himself lunch. Eats leisurely, then drives to the bank to close out his and his mother's accounts.
Hold on. They didn't say what he had for lunch, and you didn't try to, because I felt like that would be a little sticking point for you. Like, let me just see what he fucking made himself. Did he make a quick sandwich, couple minutes, or did he fucking grill a steak, mashed potato? I mean, like, how long are we talking here?
I'll have to look it up.
I can't believe you left me hanging with the food aspect. Mommy like to eat.
If you sat down and watched the movie, I could have told you exactly what it was, but
yeah,
sat down to eat.
So after time, Michael, Joan, thank you.
Yeah, Joan.
We're keeping track. Me and Joni.
Yeah, great. So after closing the family's accounts, he drives to the high school to watch his 15-year-old son John play in a soccer game.
Fuck off! Fuck off! No. He's just like, hey man, hey, what's up, Bob? Hey, what's up, Tom? John, whatever. Everybody's just, hey man, what are you up, kids? They're doing great. They're killing it.
Yep.
Meanwhile, I just murdered my entire fucking family.
He's killing it
in a mansion that's named so obviously, but I mean, And I'm just gonna take this kid. We're probably gonna go get a celebratory dinner. Maybe we'll get some ice cream, and then I'm gonna pop him in the fucking head too.
The Johns.
Is that what you're gonna tell me?
The Johns drove home, and the elder list shot his last family member.
Come on, in the car, or in the house?
In the house.
Okay.
This John, the young John, tried to defend himself, so Killer John had to shoot him multiple times in the chest.
What the fuck is? Just shoot yourself, dude.
Get ready for this part.
Come on, Mike.
He left his mother's body where he killed her, but
she's on the third floor.
Right. It's a
long
long
I'm not dragging her down. Yeah.
He wrapped his wife and children in sleeping bags and brought them all into the ballroom.
No. What? Put him in the basement. What are you doing?
I guess this was
don't kill your family, but don't drag them to the same level that people just walk into. Put him in the fucking basement. There's a wine cellar down there. There is, or a canning cellar or whatever for, put him in there. The ballroom.
I guess his intention was to bring them all together for their eternal rest or some such religious pablum. I don't know.
Don't wind me up.
He then wrote a 5-page letter to his pastor claiming he saw so much evil in the world and he was so worried about.
Don't you fucking dare tell me that he said that he did this to save his family from the evils of the world, because no, dude, come on. Again, you don't like it. The world's evil. Off yourself.
He saw so much evil in the world and he was so worried about his family being put under tight financial constraints that they would then turn from the righteous path. Without money, they would be more tempted to stray from the righteous path.
How about, right? Give them a chance to prove themselves. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on.
His solution was obviously to kill them all to save their
Let's
souls.
not give them a chance. We'll kill them all. I'm still here. I'm gonna go about my life though. Is that what's coming down the pipeline? He just goes about his life.
I guess he tried to kill them to save their souls before they were corrupted. I don't know. He methodically cleaned the various murder scenes, removed all of the family photos in which he appeared.
No,
tuned the radio.
My dad did that piece of shit.
He tuned the radio. All his
pictures out. What a dick.
Well, yeah, you're no longer
erase part of your existence, dumbass.
You don't exist in the family anymore. So he tuned the radio to a religious station and left for good.
Okay, can I just an aside? I had this neighbor. She was a cuckoo clock, and she hated us. We didn't bother her. She just hated us. She didn't like that we had dogs. Everyone in the street had dogs except for her, but she didn't like that we had dogs.
Okay.
People would play music. She didn't like that we played music. She just didn't like us. Whatever, bitch. So she would get mad at us, and she would leave the house. First of all, she used to dress in these crazy outfits. Like, she wasn't French or she wasn't, but like a beret with like a camouflage, she looked like a paratrooper, was never in the army or anything like that. But this lady was like in her 70s, just an eccentric cuckoo bird, right? She would leave the house. She would put her boombox in the window. She'd put the screen down. She'd face it toward our house, and she would turn it all the way up to 11, and she would blast Christian rock and like Christian rap and shit, not like gospel psalms and hymns. I probably would have preferred that, to be honest with you. At least they're harmonious. This was like these Christian like rappers, and so she would blast that, thinking that like that would really bother us. Except what she didn't realize is like when she would come home, we would put these huge speakers outside and then just blast death metal. So I mean, who's the real winner here? Like, but she really hated us.
No one's gonna out petty you, that's for sure.
I mean, I aspire to like let it, but not on the regular. But like, I mean, if you're fucking with me, then I'm gonna be like, how petty can I get?
Yeah, very.
So you get to fuck off mountain. You know what I mean?
At this point, I'll let you know that we're halfway through.
Okay.
It took almost a month until the bodies were finally discovered. The family had been reclusive anyway, but John took some steps that gave him a big head start on anyone that would be interested in apprehending him.
So say they're going on vacation?
He sent notes to his kids' schools and jobs, claiming that they were visiting their sick grandmother. So Helen's mom.
The one that you shot in the head?
Nope, Helen's mom.
Oh, great. Okay.
In North Carolina for a few weeks. This was sort of true. Helen's mother was sick and was even supposed to travel to Breeze Knoll for a visit, but that was canceled because of her illness. Later on, John confessed he would have killed her too had she been there. Yeah.
Aye.
John also stopped milk, mail, and newspaper deliveries to the house so nothing would pile up suspiciously by the front door.
Oh my God, did you ever get milk delivered to your house in like those containers that they used to leave on the porch or the front steps?
Did not, but always wanted that.
That milk was so good. I mean, I couldn't drink it today. I'll just, but you could get orange juice and eggs and stuff like that too. It was so cool. I think you can still do that.
He even left all of the lights in the house on so it wouldn't be pitch dark at night.
For whom?
Neighbors did notice the lights on in the middle of the day, but only in a, that's strange sort of way.
Also, they're all supposed to be visiting someone for weeks. Why are every light in the house is on? Oh, I forgot they're rich because they live in a 19-room mansion.
Yeah. But also only the school knew about the North Carolina thing. I don't think anybody knew about it.
I mean, they must have kids. They gotta have kids. They go to the school. Everybody talks.
It wasn't until the bulbs started to burn out one by one and still no activity was seen.
Come on.
No activity was seen in or around the house that people started getting suspicious and called police. Officers entered the house through an unlocked window and found the bodies of the entire List family, minus John. A manhunt was launched to find John, but remember, he had nearly a month's head start, and he had destroyed all of the reliable photographs that could have been used to help in the search.
Did he go back to one of the places he previously lived, or did he go someplace totally new?
Well, I'll tell you that.
Thank you.
His car was found at JFK Airport in New York, but there was no evidence that John List got on a plane to anywhere.
So he's just trying to throw them off, basically.
Yeah. Breeze Knoll stayed empty until it was burned down in August 1972, 9 months.
It's not even a good name.
After the murders.
Yeah.
Although the fire was officially ruled arson, it remains officially unsolved with no suspects. I don't think anybody really cared that the house burned down.
No.
They're
probably glad it fucking burned down, to be honest.
Yeah. The ballroom's stained glass skylight, rumored to be a signed Tiffany original, worth at least $100,000 at the time, equivalent to $650,000 today, was also destroyed. Talk about being house rich and cash poor.
I would take the fucking window out. Take the window out and sell it. You're golden.
Sure would have solved a lot of his problems, wouldn't it?
Holy crap. You're not gonna tell me, Mike, that when they bought the house, the realtor wasn't like, and this is the best feature of the entire. They'll show you a fucking tiny closet, and they'll be in there like, oh, look at this, all this space. No, look at this original Tiffany stained glass window, rumored to be worth $150,000. Like, are you kidding? They didn't know. They
knew.
We'll take the fucking thing out and sell it.
Yeah, that would have been an idea. A new house.
Let's just slaughter our whole entire family. It's fine.
That seems
logical. It's fine.
Yeah. A new house was built on the land in 1974.
No, no, I'm not living in that house. No. No.
The FBI later found out that the car at the airport was obviously a red herring, and John had taken a train out of New Jersey to Michigan and then another to Colorado. Right. So he did go back for part of it to where he came from and then ended up in Colorado.
Yeah.
He arrived in Denver in early 1972 and got a job as an accountant using his fake name, Robert Peter Clark.
Sounds like a serial killer name, but okay.
Well, he got this name from a guy he went to college with, but the real Bob Clark insists that he never knew John List. Okay. So he may have had like a yearbook or something and was like, okay, that's enough of a name. I don't know.
Yeah.
He successfully led a new life, holding the same job at a paper box manufacturer from 1979 to 1986. Was involved in a Lutheran congregation and ran a carpool program for shut-in members of the church.
What a good guy, though. Really giving back.
Yeah,
I mean, really making amends.
Roots.
Just penance on penance on penance,
At one church event, he met a woman named Dolores Miller, and they got married in 1986.
Cool. You should probably have like 3 more kids, to just replace the ones that you killed.
The couple moved to Virginia, and John, now Bob, found another accounting job.
John Bob or John Bob John. Bob John Bob.
He had previously lived in Virginia.
I mean, the names fit.
Yeah.
Billy Bob, John Bob.
In May 1989, during its first season, America's Most Wanted ran a story about the murders of Breeze Knoll that happened 18 years earlier.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit, John Bob. They're on your ass, bitch.
The show commissioned a clay bust of John List by forensic artist Frank Bender.
I'm going to commission a clay bust of you and put it on my fucking shit. I know what I'll get you for Christmas.
No, that's okay. Oh no, don't write it down.
Wasn't my fall Christmas.
They asked
You're
Bender.
done.
Well,
Check.
see, but now I don't want to tell you this next part because it may change and you may do this part of it too. They asked Bender to age progress the sculpture to approximate what he assumed John would look like nearly 2 decades later.
Old clay bust of old man Mike for Christmas.
Right. The likeness was pretty damn good because only only 9 days after the episode aired, police arrested John List Bob Clark at his accounting job.
His wife was probably like, "Oh, was his wife?" I would have been like, "What?
What? It wasn't his wife.
Who was it?
A former neighbor from Denver had called the tip line to suggest that the Bob Clark he used to know looked an awful lot like that head made out of clay.
Yeah.
List denied being List for several months, strongly asserting his Bob Clarkness.
Okay.
He was extradited out of Virginia back to New Jersey later in 1989, and eventually he could deny his true identity no longer. He was presented with fingerprints taken from John List's military file and some additional evidence from the crime scene. He finally admitted who he really was in February 1990.
What a fucking dummy.
Things moved pretty fast after John admitted he was John.
Yeah.
So he admitted he was John in February 1990. And on April 12th, 1990, List was convicted of 5 counts of first-degree murder.
Well, as he should.
That's a swift course of justice. A lot
swift
of people.
Justice. I love it.
During the trial, a court-appointed psychiatrist testified that List suffered from obsessive-compulsive personality disorder.
Weird.
And that he saw only 2 solutions to his situation: accept welfare or kill his family and send their souls to heaven.
Or, and just hear me out for a second, keep going to job interviews while your kids are toiling away also and chipping in. Ask your mother, who clearly has money, if she can float you alone, right? It's your mom.
Yeah.
Take the stained glass window out, Billy John, Bob, Johnny, Bobby, Johnny, and sell that idea. Fucker. Hey, nice mug. Where'd you get that? And then kill your family, I guess. No, don't do the last one. You don't jump to the fucking last resort first.
That's pretty far down the list.
Yeah.
In John's mind, and again, this is all according to the psychiatrist here. In John's mind, welfare was an unacceptable option because it would be embarrassing and was strictly against his father's code about the care and protection of family members.
What do you think his father might say if he knew his son murdered his entire goddamn family, Mike?
I don't know if he'd have a problem with it.
Oh, come on, dude. No, he's not going to be like, well, you can't be embarrassed in society. Might as well murder your whole family.
Yeah. I never understood, because there's a lot of these family annihilators or kind of the religious zealots who can't excuse more minor sins.
Murder is one of the commandments. You're committing the most heinous sin. Sin.
One of the top 10.
Whatever. No matter how you look at it.
Yeah.
Yet you won't just keep going to job interviews. Eventually you're going to get one. It's a numbers game.
Yeah.
John. You know what I mean? Like, what the flip?
He could take one of his kids' part-time jobs. That's an option too. At his sentencing hearing, he denied direct responsibility for his actions. Quote, "I feel that because of my mental state at the time, I was unaccountable for what happened.
Huh?
I ask all affected by this for their forgiveness, understanding, and prayer."
Huh? Uh-huh. Huh? No. No, sir. No, sir.
The
No,
judge
we're
didn't buy
sorry.
it.
No. Okay, great, good, yeah. No, because it's a load of bullshit.
The judge said, quote, John Emil List is without remorse and without honor. After 18 years, 5 months,
He's a
and
fucking coward. That's why.
After 18 years, 5 months, and 22 days, it is now time for the voices of Helen, Alma, Patricia, Frederick, and John F. List to rise from the grave.
Yes.
John was sentenced to 5 life terms to be served consecutively, the maximum permissible penalty at the time.
Bitch. So love me
List,
some justice, Michael.
List filed an appeal of his conviction.
No, he did not, sir. No, sir. You don't even get to file an appeal.
You want to know what grounds he filed the appeal on?
Please tell me.
On the grounds that his judgment had been impaired by post-traumatic stress disorder from his military service. In the finance corps, just
yeah, he was an accountant.
Right. He may have seen action. It's possible, but it doesn't seem like the primary function of the finance corps.
I wouldn't think so.
Yeah.
I mean,
he also argued that the letter he left behind at the crime scene was a confidential communication to his pastor and therefore inadmissible as evidence.
No, that's not a thing. It's not your lawyer or your psychiatrist.
Well,
is it though, Mike? Because you can't be like, I murdered everyone and I'm probably gonna, hey, I might murder you. And they're gonna be like,
forgive me, Father, for I have sinned.
Yeah, I have sinned. I'm about to come in there and bust your head. And he's gonna be like, I'm not gonna tell anyone, don't worry. No, he's calling the fucking cops.
A federal appeals court rejected both arguments.
Okay. I mean,
I was just trying to upset you.
Does the justice system finally worked one goddamn time? Okay, cool.
List eventually seemed to have second thoughts about exterminating his family. Quote, I wish I had never done what I did. I've regretted my actions.
I hate him so much.
Well, this is how he's trying to get right with himself. I've regretted my actions and prayed for forgiveness.
With himself and the Lord. Does he think the Lord is going to forgive him for annihilating his entire family?
He's prayed for forgiveness ever since.
Well, he's going to do a lot of fucking praying.
Now, what is the one question you would ask him? If you could ask
me?
Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with you, dude? Because there's a list of things we could have done.
A John list
before we got to this. You bitch.
When asked why he had not taken his own life, he said he believed.
You tell me if he kills himself, he'll never get into fucking heaven. I'm going to lose it. I'm going to lose my shit.
Okay. Mute yourself, because he believed that suicide would have prevented him from going to heaven, where he hoped to be reunited with his family.
Are you kidding me?
I wish I was.
What a fucking...
Yep.
Okay. No. I'm gonna
internalize
channel it into other outlets is what I've been told to do.
Great.
So I'm gonna try that from now on.
List.
Because fucking insane.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
You're not getting fucking reunited with anybody, bro. Like, no. You little fucking weasel.
Taken an awful lot on faith that they made it to heaven. He didn't.
Well, they were murdered, so I would imagine they get a direct line to the heaven.
I don't know what the Lutheran.
I don't know.
I don't know what the Lutheran standpoint on last rites and everything is, but if they
if anybody's Lutheran out there,
yeah,
drop us an email at mafpodcastshow@gmail.com. At the bottom of the screen or on top of Michael's head. I don't know. mafpodcastshow@gmail.com. Or slide into my DMs. MAF Podcast Show on Instagram and Twitter.
John List
and
died.
Just let us know what happens. I'm sorry, Michael.
No, do you need last rites as a Lutheran to get into heaven?
Yeah.
Because there's no indication.
Thing though, because if you're Catholic and they you're in the hospital and they try to get the priest there, but they don't get the priest there, you don't get your last rites. They don't go, well, he was stuck in traffic. You're screwed. Sorry about that. Better luck next time. Like,
I think they can administer them over a dead body, I believe. But
can you?
He never did that, because there's no indication that he administered the rites himself or anything like that.
Would it even count if he did?
I don't know.
I mean, when you die, I'm going to stand over you and just give. Does that count for anything?
I mean, that's going to confuse the universe. That's going to confuse everybody if you cross me after I die.
I'll be like, oh, my poor Jewish friend who I loved in life and now in the afterlife. The Spiritu Santi, all
I'll
this
do
shit.
this just in case.
And
so we can see each
you
other
never
again.
know. Let's do everything. Let's put a star in there and we're doing it all. Wrap you in a shroud. I don't know. Is that a thing I don't know.
Sure it is for somebody. List died in prison from complications from pneumonia on March 21st. Good. March 21st, 2008, at the age of 82.
Good. I wish she was riddled with syphilis. That was the only thing that would have made me happy.
As an interesting aside, John List was briefly considered a suspect in the DB Cooper hijacking because he disappeared from New Jersey 2 weeks prior to that flight.
Yeah.
Clearly in need of money. Could have matched the suspect's description. And people figured that a mass murderer doesn't have much to lose.
Yeah.
When he was later arrested, he was asked about being DB Cooper, which he has always denied. Even after he came clean about being John List, he still said, no, definitely not DB Cooper. There was never any evidence to implicate him, and the FBI no longer considers him a possible suspect in that case.
Okay.
That was the story of John List.
What a true piece of shit.
The inspiration for the stepfather.
These cowards, though, honestly, just fuck off. How about change your name?
Yeah.
And fuck off with yourself. Or go jump off a bridge or something. Leave these kids alone. I mean, the wife was drinking herself to death anyway, and the mom's old. She's going to die of natural causes. So just dick off. Go find another girlfriend, another wife, go to another state, get married. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Bye.
He seemed to be pretty good at it. He hid for 18 years.
I mean,
his family wouldn't have been able to find him any better than the cops did or the FBI did. And they started looking after only a month. So it's not even like, they weren't on him for a long time. So
I just don't get it. Like Chris Watts, get a divorce.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Get a divorce and go be with your fucking girlfriend. Mm-hmm. So what? Oh, because you might have to support these kids into the future. Oh, you made them. You know what I mean? But fuck Shannon, whatever you want to call her. Forget it. Good. All right, fine. Your family doesn't get along with her. Her family doesn't get along with you. Go get a girlfriend and goodbye. Why are you murdering entire families? I don't understand it.
Well, if we understood the thought process of crazy people,
I mean, yeah, but
might be a little crazy ourselves.
Puppy. I don't know, dude. I'm over it. Yeah. I'm over these dudes. So sorry that your fragile ego couldn't handle it. Oh no. So to make myself feel better, I'm gonna murder an entire family?
Yeah.
Go get a fucking job. Go get a job. Do something with yourself. Now I sound like I'm 100.
Yeah,
go get a fucking job, you bum. You know what I mean?
Crossed into crotchety territory here.
I've been crotchety for 100 years now, so I mean, it's whatever, dude. I'm over these guys.
Yeah. Strong agree. Well, that'll do it for our first video episode.
I mean, we got to figure out how to get this old ass laptop to work because I don't like this portrait. I want landscape. Instead, I don't like to be boxed in, Mike. Very expressive. You can't tell what I'm doing. You don't know what I'm doing. I'm doing this.
Oh.
But you would never know because
Wouldn't
you can't see what's going on.
Wouldn't have guessed.
You know?
Well, in the meantime, while we decide to figure out a schedule for doing video, because this is not going to be an every week deal here, for at least at the beginning. But you can follow us on Instagram and Twitter to keep abreast of our goings on.
I'm doing this so you have to add graphics. I'm an asshole.
Yeah, and this is
MAF Podcast Show.
Yes, at MAF Podcast Show. And as Joanne has already indicated to you, you can email us at mafpodcastshow@gmail.com. If you are on Apple Podcasts and are only hearing the audio version, the video version will be available. Will be available on YouTube. The video version should be available on Spotify if you listen and watch there. But if you're on
Apple,
come to our YouTube channel, Murder Amongst Friends podcast, and you can watch us if you care.
If you care. They don't, but it's fine.
But
you never know. You never know.
Sometimes
it's going to be a bunch of people and they're going to be like, "Ooh, hello, Michael. Good thing you broke up with Johnny Boney Maroney because now you're single, baby."
Who doesn't exist? Who doesn't?
Joan, disclaimer, Joni doesn't exist. Anyway.
But
Joan, he said it again. We're keeping track.
She keeps track of how many times I say she doesn't exist.
Disparage her, actually.
And then hacks into my bank account.
On her good name
each time.
Yeah.
But
Michael,
until next time.
Stay away from Terry O'Quinn if you see him, because he's very, 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 very good at these creepy ass roles. But I also love him. He's in my top 5 losties.
Yeah, check out The Stepfather. It is at least streaming on Shudder, maybe a few other places as well. But
I haven't seen that since I think it came out.
Yeah, it's an underappreciated.
It's really good,
especially performance by him. He makes that movie what it is. But till next time, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye.